So, hello to the good people over the internet. Today we have with us the wonderful people from, actually, the wonderful entrepreneurs from Calcutta Cacophony, Mr. Rishi and Mrs. Ankita. Thank you so much for joining for this podcast. It means a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
So, for people who don't know, actually, this is a non-scripted podcast. For the listeners who know, this is not a scripted one. So, we don't know what the hell is going to happen. Okay. So, anyway, take us in a good way, like from the very childhood, where you both of you were inclined into, your brain was filled with entrepreneurship, creative things, doing something which not a normal person does in our societies or something of that sort.
So, yeah, Ankita, do you want to start off with how CC was born?
So basically, we were in school. We both were in school, and at the time, Instagram was still not a thing. Like this is 2014, and Instagram is still coming. Anyone getting 10 likes on a picture on Instagram is a big deal. Tokon 10 was like the benchmark. Ekhonkaar 300. So as a whole, it started as a reposting platform where we were creating content from our own ends. But then we decided that there was much more we could do in terms of content. So this was still the time when you were creating creative content, graphic content. You were creating 5 types of people at a BA buddy and the
Uh-huh.
typical like old school content. And we started off as a creation platform, but then we slowly shifted into content marketing without even being aware that we were going into content marketing. And we expanded on Facebook. We started having teams who are out there. We were covering events. We started partnering. So it was a very step by step process for us. And events came in for CC when we realized that there was so much chatter online. We need to get it off ground. And we also had luckily we've always had lovely people in CC, like from the people who stayed back and from the people who have moved on from CC. I can say that like everything that CC is, everyone has left behind a part of them. So that's how CC happened. So I think everyone
Interesting.
also has a different story. Like mine is going to be like, the overview, but everyone has a different CC story. So
Mhm.
I think even Rishi will have a perspective which I can't speak of.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, when CC started, I still remember it was in December. And we were just preparing for our boards. So,
Uh-huh.
January, it's pre boards, class 12, and then March, April exam. So, and we time, I think a few months just before that, I think Ankita and we met each other. We met each other online on Instagram only, interestingly. And again, we just, kind of like we hit off really well. And uh, again, we had very interesting talks back then. And from there only, the conversation started. Our love for the city, our love for, all the creative things that are happening around the city. And we were also, because we are also young and we are also exploring so many things and we're trying to do so many things together at the same time. So why not bring those together? So the
Mhm.
how CC started was just an Instagram page. Like I had a DSLR, I used to take pictures. My friend had a DSLR, used to take pictures, and we used to like kind of post each other's pictures only. And slowly, the community started to grow. And like from 2 people, it became like 200 people like in a year. And because 3 years of college, I'm like a few weeks back only, Ankita and I were speaking about this. I think we've had more than 1,000 people who's been a part of CC over the last past whatever 6 7 years,
8 years, 8 years.
eight years, yeah, 8 years. And it's really eerie sometimes when you think about it that so many people. I mean, like at least from our batch, I mean, like the 2015-18 batch. I'm like all of our friends who are in touch with us, who are not in touch with us, who are frenemies, who are enemies now. Everyone has been a part of CC in some way or the other. And I mean, like, it, the best part is that where what we always say, CC is not just the two of us.
Mhm.
It's every single one of those individuals who've been a part of CC directly or indirectly, who have contributed to this platform and where it's grown today. I mean, like whatever we do online or offline, it's purely for the love of the people. I mean, like half of the people in the city also does not know that Ankita and Rishi are the founders. We've never like put ourselves out there, like, putting my name everywhere, my face everywhere in hoardings and billboards. Not happening. That's something which I'm also not very comfortable with. Like, doing this podcast is also very intimidating for me. I'm not a person who
He's
likes
shaking.
to
He's
who
constantly
likes to
shaking.
yeah, who likes to be in front of the camera like that. And I have this patent smile which you will find in all my pictures. so yeah, it's been a very, very interesting journey, and again, it's like ever growing. So yeah.
Wow. Well, the camera thing, I agree. I'm also very awkward, so don't worry. And especially if podcast takes place in this kind of a thing. So I have a chat over mail or on Instagram or on Facebook. Then all of a sudden I just say, "Hey, you seem interesting. Come for a podcast or something like that." So then they're like, "हाँ चलो करते हैं कोई दिक्कत नहीं." And then they come on the camera. For the first 2 minutes, we are like,
what to do, what face to make.
and then there comes an awkward smile like hey or something of that. So then things start.
Yeah.
See that on Rishi's face throughout. You're gonna if you do a time lapse of the whole thing, you will see that his face is like this.
Pretty interesting. Yeah. I remember that the first time I did a podcast with a band, I was like this. Okay, yeah, this is the next question for you. Under the table. Pretty interesting. So like you both founded Calcutta Cacophony back in like 2014 and 15.
14 December, yeah.
14. Oh, you did the date precisely. Okay. Like only the two of you were publishing posts, creating the graphics, flyers, creatives, and all of that.
Initially, yes. Actually, we were reposting a lot of content also, but we also had some friends who, like, it was like we were pulling in content from our surroundings. So we have someone in our team, Rick. I remember one of the first written pieces by anyone was of Rick, and Rick is not even a writer. He was living back in Germany then, and he was my school senior, but we never met in school. Like when I was going to pass out, he was like 3 years elder to me, and his writing was one of the first, and he was not a part of CC. But it was like, I think we also did Debayan's pictures, Rishi.
Yeah,
I think, yeah. So
it was one of my pictures only. So I was walking in Moidan, and he had taken a picture, and it was a nice picture. So we reposted that also.
And I think one of the first posts of CC was one of the pictures my father had clicked of Victoria Memorial. And back then, Victoria, the cliche did not happen. Like, every time it was very, very different back then. It was like the age of Facebook. Instagram was rather a very safe. Yeah, it was a very safe space to start off. But then I remember we had a proper conversation when we shifted to Facebook. So if even though CC started in December, we always celebrate April 20th as our birthday. Reason being, that's when we finally decided after boards, fresher minds, away from the burden. So, we decided that we'll go on Facebook and we'll try to make something of it. And I was not even
I still remember that was a very heavy discussion. So going on to Facebook
was that the first serious discussion of your lives?
I feel for CC for sure.
I mean, like, and I think we had that over egg sandwich. I remember it was because that was the cheapest thing on the menu also.
Innovators over sandwich.
Funnily, all our even the Soul Local was decided at CCD, যেটা তোর এখন যেটা ন্যাচারালস হয়ে গেছে আগে CCD ছিল, and we had some free coupons of CCD, ঠিক আছে, worth some 300-400 rupees. So we went there, we took some sandwiches, we took some cold coffee or shake, something like that, and that's how TSL was conceptualized in half an hour.
In half an hour, yeah.
Oh, half an hour.
In half an hour, and next morning we had a meeting with one of the sponsors. So তখনকার দিনে তো cash was not the game. It was more of a barter deal which we had made. And that's how TSL was done in a month.
And also, because we mentioned the TSL, CC is a reflection of a lot of people. The person who gave the name Soul Local was a very close friend at one point, but then we distanced for whatever reasons. But we still, I think we were discussing a few days back that he actually named Soul Local the Soul Local. And I mean, come on, exactly. Soul, he's not a part, but I mean, in a way that it's his legacy, right? Like that
Yeah, it's
name is
continuous.
his to give. So
Mhm.
yeah.
So Calcutta Cacophony, like you guys posted every content, every piece of picture that seemed good on that page. You started on Instagram first.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how much
Yes.
of a following was back then?
We
Very less.
reached 10K actually in a year, which was very
Oh,
high for Instagram back then.
at that point
That
in
one
time,
because
huh?
Instagram was also picking up,
Hmm.
and again, there were not many pages. I mean, like
Hmm.
there were probably two or
First
three back
movers
then.
advantage, I think we
First,
had
we had
back
a
then.
first movers
There was one
advantage
more,
like that.
but
There
that
was
was
one.
very photography concentrated. We started
Huh.
actually collaborating with a lot of activities happening around. So
Huh.
we do not call ourselves a photography community, or we are not photographers. Like people very clearly associated us back in the day as photographers, but I mean, I am definitely not, and Rishi will also agree now that he's not.
Not at all.
And we were more about, because even when we were like, we were just 18, we were just turning 18, and we were also seeing কত কিছু হচ্ছিল outside from our school's realms. And
Uh-huh.
I was, so I think that kind of pushed us.
Uh, so beyond
And
things
and
beyond
that,
four walls. Mm-hmm.
yeah, Agam. And because we had friends from so many walks of life, so that's why we, like I said, like all our friends were a part of CC also. So some are musicians, some are actors, some are uh, poetry slammers, some are writers. So we kind of had an amalgamation of everything put together, and that's
Mm-hmm.
how the collaboration started internally also. So, for example, Anurag, who's a part of our team, Anurag was a writer, and there's another guy called Shorudeep, who's a photographer. Then we started doing photo stories.
Yeah.
So that's how the collaboration started in-house. And then
Mm-hmm.
slowly, when we obviously started increasing, more people got to know about Calcutta Cacophony, and more people wanted to be a part of the team. And we were also very intimidated. Like, people want to be a part of this? Like, that's also
I
something
think
very
we
new
were
to us.
discussing this, like, like a few days back, Rishi met someone and he told, back in college, like Calcutta Cacophony was a thing. And Rishi came and told me, seriously, it was a thing. Why? Then, like, we were like, and honestly, believe me, when you're yet not trying to be humble, we still do not, like, we do not know. Like, we still ask why. That's our, like, that's like, we don't know why people are interested.
Yeah,
But I
like
mean,
unreal stories we've heard from so many people across different walks of life and unrelated. Okay, coming up and telling us that, oh, it's you who does this. Like, that's
Oh, surprise.
surprised. I mean, like, very interestingly, so a few years back, someone from Calcutta, he had hired a Bombay agency to market something in Calcutta. Okay.
Oh.
And he had flown to Bombay, okay, spending whatever, a few thousands on flight fare and hotel fare, and giving that agency a few lakh rupees to indirectly pay us to do the same work. So,
person literally told this
so he was
person
like,
literally
so
told
he when he was at the meeting in Bombay, and the guy is telling that, we have Calcutta Cacophony is working, and he was like, I paid you to call them, like they're friends, and it's a one
Falling
call
from the
away.
sky.
and we
Ah,
got to know this like last to last month. We did not know.
Oh.
And this happened in 2019.
yeah.
Okay, okay. So
So
3 years.
I still don't remember how what the deal was, but I'm sure it was something like he probably paid them a lakh, and they probably paid us 10,000. So that's how the it came. Right?
How awkward was that?
He was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Why the hell did I go there? I have these guys in." It's like that.
Oh. See the
And
irony, yeah? Bombay
ah,
agency to market things in Calcutta. Damn.
Calcutta. And coming to us, who are we are friends, and then we are
From
friends with yours.
Calcutta.
Ah,
And then you guys like, "वो कि क्या क्या हो रहा है?"
And now we
yeah,
can't even do that because we got to know very late.
exactly.
Yes.
We got to know this just like less like a few
I
months
think
back actually.
September, during Pujo, we got to
Yeah,
know.
during Pujo we got to know this.
The first time you got to know this, what was your reaction?
So I
Right now
think
we're not even surprised, to be honest. Sometimes
No.
this has happened a lot
exciting
nowadays.
লাগতো, but then you again, obviously it still excites me now that I'm telling you the story. I'm very excited. I mean, like telling you the story, but then you get used to it after the point of time.
Ha.
Because
Exactly.
I'm not used to
initially
it.
I still remember that initially when restaurants started inviting us to come and taste our food,
Oh my
it was like free food.
God.
I was like, wow, seriously. Like, I thought
Everyone
so
loves free food.
everyone loves free food. Everyone loves free food, and by God's grace, we've been lucky that we've been invited to so many places in Calcutta to try food. Okay, some places they've called us, invited us. Some people they've paid us to eat food also. Okay,
So,
so
Sone
like
pe
now put
suhaga.
a 20-year-old in that situation.
yeah, this
Like,
is like 18, 19, 20-year old, and this is like
not even
super
20,
attractive
actually,
food
this was
for us.
happening in when we were 18, 19. We turned
18,
15,
19,
16. We
একদম
were like, whoa,
by
this
the
happens?
Celebrate.
তখন it's like a huge deal, ঠিক আছে? এখন you get used to it. এখন you're like বাড়িতে ভাত ভাত সেদ্ধ ভাত মাছ ভাজা এগুলোই
Ha
খাবো।
ha 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 ha.
And
আমি
like we have,
আসলে
people have told us thoda ta rashi shina, and
Mhm.
I was like, honestly, see, right now, like as a 20-year-old, I know I was bringing value, and the reason why you want to be is where somewhere I'm bringing value.
Mm.
But again, if I'm not getting paid, technically now it's my service. So if I'm
That's
not
a
getting
service.
paid for it, why will I go all the way for nothing? মাঝে মাঝে মনে হলো ঠিক আছে চল যাই, new place opening, something exciting happening, we'll go. But you know, I think as people, we have grown older in that way. And when we were kids, when our parents used to say "Bado hole bujhbi," we never understood what it means. But now that we're
Now we
growing
do.
up, I know. I tell the younger people in CC right now, "Bado hole bujhbi." So I am taking that advice.
Just wait.
Life will come at you.
Yeah, wait. आ रहा है. सोने पे सुहागा होने वाला. When did you guys sit and think of, okay, this is kind of growing without us knowing? Okay, that kind of become a rhyme. So when did you guys think of making this into a venture, into a serious kind of a business? When did you think of that? Like, did you sit down with pen and paper?
I have a funny story for that.
Okay.
Because we never thought. We
Oh.
had
and we
to do
still
it.
don't think. We still don't think, to be honest. And
We had to do it because payments. I mean, we could not, like, if we were asking for, like, we were charging for something, it had to be a business. So, and I also realized over time when people were joining CC, a lot of them were young people. So the moment it's a registered company, where they're actually working for, there is more value there. Like, I can tell that, as a community, we've all worked and everything, but right now we do give LORs, we do give,
Feature posts.
we have given references over call to, future employers. So we try and do that. So I think that is the two things. When the payments started coming in, we used to also tell the team, guys, we can actually formally and legally also now give you that space where you were interning or you were voluntarily member,
associated
however,
with CC.
yes, association. The association becomes more legal then, not a bunch of friends just chilling.
So then it became more than a page. That's how it kind of. Also, funnily, the entire registration process was also not planned. So initially, hello, yeah. So basically, the registration phase of forming a company was never planned. So we were doing this event and we had a sponsor. So we were like, sponsor kake taka debe? It can't go to her personal account. It can't come to my personal account.
A business account hota hai, exactly.
It has to be a business account. So then we went online, found this online site. যেখানে ওরাই সব registration করে দেবে and all that. Some I think back then it was some 10-15,000 rupees যেটা লাগতো. So I saw that আমার কত bank balance আছে, আঙ্কিতা saw কত bank balance আছে. Then we like pool the money in. And I think it took us about 2-3 weeks for the registration to get done. And that's how the company was formed. It was like a very quick thing. Company ki naam debe like Calcutta Cacophony rekhe di, theek ache. And
was it like private limited or like LLC?
So
no, it's a normal partnership firm.
Partnership firm.
Because for private limited, there was some, like, again, when we even did the company, we don't know anything. We were like 19, and we did not know
no legal or business knowledge of that sort.
Nothing exactly. That
we
was
were on good illegal.
And also multiple people were giving us different information, so we did not know which was the right information.
Lot of information.
So we talked to 10-15 people. We had like meetings at Acropolis because that was like the most convenient place for us to have meetings, and I can tell you 10 জন 10টা একদম আলাদা information, so we did not know what to do. So it was
Or
not
he
also
went
the
ahead with
source of
whatever, huh?
information we could buy. I think he has the same problem now also. For the same thing,
Uh-huh.
10 people
Yeah.
give us 10 separate information.
তো
So
জ্ঞান
right
পাপি না
now,
বাঙালিরা আমরা হুম।
yes, exactly. Ganpuff is an interesting word. Right now, how much big is the team, and what services does Calcutta Cacophony provide as a media and news company?
So, in terms of team, currently we are standing at about 100 and 120 people.
Holy shit.
Also because we have an event. So during events, we have more people joining the team. So
Mhm.
there's an influx of a lot of people coming in at that point of time. Just a second. Ankita,
Sure, please.
Yeah, I'll take over. Yeah. So generally, what happens before events, we have a project basis internship where you intern for Soul Local. So we have around like 80 people there. But then we also have a lot of CC people who stayed back, who have been a part of the team. Last 2 years, to be honest, nothing happened. But in terms of the core team, where we are, I think, 14 people, but all of us are working full time and we work at CC part time, and we work on a commission or project basis.
Project
So
basis, okay.
if you're taking up a work, we get paid for that work. So that is how Rishi and I also work, and that is how the rest of the team also works. Because obviously we do not have because no one in CC works full time on papers, but if you consider the number
It's
of
a freelancing
hours,
basis.
it's a freelancing basis. I think, yeah, but like these people have designations,
Mhm.
but there is no legal binding to the designation.
That you
Like
are an official
it's,
employee of this
yeah,
organization.
because it's not a full-time role either.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's not a paid role either. So that's how even so other than Rishi and me, who are basically like we are the stakeholders in terms of the monetary stakeholders. So 50% we have, and the rest of it is like whoever gets paid. And Rishi and I, whenever we are working, obviously it becomes very difficult for us to see this is Rishi's work, this is my work. So we are voluntary employers of our own company.
Founders and employees, fantastic.
Founders and employees. I know I have been seeing a lot of people using founder and intern at XYZ. So I
Buzzword.
think that's us. So we should be like founder and unpaid intern at Calcutta Cacophony.
Only founder, no payment and all. Free founders.
Payment is only going out with event coming up to only going out now.
Exactly. Nothing more to that. Huh? What was the first biggest, or I should say, what was the first successful project by Calcutta Cacophony? Money wise, recognition wise.
I think it was the OnePlus walk, nahi?
I think recognition wise was not. It was money wise, I think OnePlus. But recognition wise was the Bowie Mela cover we got out of nowhere from Abella.
Oh, can you like tell me like both of the things, the OnePlus and the
Yes.
Boom.
So I'll tell you about in chronology. We both. So Rishi had never been as an adult. He had never been to Bowie Mela. This was when he was 19.
Like
So
me.
I dragged him to Bowie Mela, and we were just like going around. And I love reading, so I was picking up books and. In the process, and this was a time when we both used to create a lot of content on Canva. Like everything,
Canva.
like our graphic designer was me and him, and we learned Canva. So right now we call each other Canva pros. So we created this content of 15 type of people you see at Boimela or something like that. And it was just a very fun Boimela post, which was working those days. It got viral, and we were covered by Abella, which was the Bangla newspaper, and it was out of nowhere, and our pictures were there, and we were like, "Whoa, it glow hoy!" I mean, we were a bit
Canva
taken
Pro.
aback. Yeah, Canva Pro. So yeah, and we were actually featured across like with Bong Pen, who was like who was brilliant, like who is brilliant rather. So for us, I mean, that in itself was an honor. And from that, even Bowie Mela, so at that time, Kolkata bloggers used to do Kolkata Literature Festival. And they reached out to us to create some promotional content for Bowie Mela. And that was technically our first paid gig, first feature. All of it happened together. And after that, media came in, a lot of people started covering, and then the OnePlus thing happened in March. So January, March.
So which year is this?
2016.
2016. So you started off at 2014, got success at
So
2016.
we started off technically in 2015 April, and 2016 January was our first feature.
And when did you like register the company? Which year was that?
2018.
Oh. After everything has happened, अब register करते.
So we did have some, like we started the process, but it took so long because we were trying to understand how it works. And by the time we finally got registered, it was 2018.
Interesting.
When it happened, it happened over 3 weeks.
It takes a kind of a while. Hoga, this will they attested documents and all.
We Ponorota meetings before that was that 1 year.
Oh, okay.
The whole of 2017 took that. And the OnePlus event was also like, again, we were pretty young.
So OnePlus reached you out?
Yes.
Oh.
So we launched OnePlus X in Calcutta. So
interestingly, OnePlus the third OnePlus India je pista ache. So the third image is taken by us.
Oh. I have to check it out on Instagram.
So if you go way back.
And we hosted like Calcutta's also first mobile photo walk back then, and 90 people showed up, which we were not expecting, and it was a big deal. Yeah, it was a big deal. Like back then, it was a huge deal for us. Like we were like pinching each other. Is this happening? So it was that kind of a thing. And then we associated. So, and then I think that was when we started. We were reaching our high and we were trying to see the options available, and we started moving on ground. I think OnePlus was one of our first on ground interactions, and then
I think it was the first on ground thing that we did. I think.
No, we did Nautanki Nights.
But that was not ours. It was like we were
we partnered. We were like pretty
our own event.
It was like an X kind of a thing, but OnePlus was completely our own first thing, and then Charm Tales happened. And then
obviously Book Fair happened, no?
Book Fair happened in 2018, right?
2018. Book Fair happened in 2018. Yeah.
It was much later. So then we were doing a lot of college. Yeah, because we started doing a lot of college festive promotions, on ground promotions. We stopped doing only online. In fact, our pitch was also not online anymore. It was we'll host, if it's for the photography club, we'll host a photo walk for you guys. If it was for like if they were doing a Calcutta treasure hunt race, we did that with bloggers. We took bloggers on food walks for promoting college fests. So everyone was creating content. So we were trying to integrate offline and online. And one day suddenly, I don't remember who, I was like, oh, you guys do content marketing. And then that's when I learned the word. I did not even know the word before that. And
I think what we
we picked up the terms.
We did not know any of the terms, or consciously we never knew what we were doing.
What services does Calcutta Cacophony provide as a media news company itself?
We do not call ourselves a news company. I know that's the only tag available that remotely relates to what we do.
Exactly.
But we're also not an agency. We do not take on clients and then go on a retainer basis. Rather, we work on project basis. So, and we have a wide bandwidth of marketing things that we can do. But again, it is from company. So it's like more like a marketing consultant kind of thing, or event management consultancy. So we do not work on 6 months project, like 6 months retainer. We do not do that because Rishi and I both, we work full time. So we do not have the bandwidth. Like for us, Soul Local is also a project. So that is how all the team members are also working. So we do like influencer marketing, guerrilla marketing, digital, event marketing, event management, on-ground event integration, in-event marketing. Arki, I think that more or less covers content marketing. We do studio work, like we do. We try to do more like things that you will not get otherwise. Like you will get someone to come and take your pictures, but you will not get someone who will do a vox pop video for you. for your brand.
Mm-hmm.
We try to integrate content with influencers where we come on board, we do the entire storyline. So that is why we try to integrate different types of marketing. And again, the audience is very niche in terms of services also. But I mean, we do not also have time to take on more. So yeah,
So
and
I
work
think
comes for us.
interestingly, we both were in very different fields of work also before, and that's how our love for marketing also came.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Rishi was in hotel management, and
Oh.
I was studying like sociology, but I wanted to get into marketing. But like
Mm-hmm.
that was also because just out of school, my parents wanted me to be an engineer,
Oh.
and I thought that
Story of every household.
every average
Amata was
Bengali
not
household.
engineer. I got saved that way. I
Uh-huh.
went into hospitality,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
hospitality management.
from there I moved into marketing.
Oh. Oh.
I think we did not even know what we wanted to do until like second year of college. Like
Uh-huh.
for me, I was always involved in marketing in school. When I school fest hoche, I was in the marketing team or the PR team somehow. Like, but it never struck me. But well, with CC, I think I understood myself better. And events is like where my heart lies right now. So even if
Mm-hmm.
Rishi calls himself a marketer, I don't completely. I call myself a branding person and
Uh-huh.
events person.
Wow. Tell us what is the Soul Local for someone who is getting to know this organization at the very first.
Soul Local is an experiential festival where what we promise is no matter what you like, you will have something that to take back. It can be one small memory, it can be you'll take back from something. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what Soul Local is. It is there
Someone's
is something for
contact.
everyone.
Yeah, I think we've had so many. Again, funnily that you said this, we've had so many relationships that started from Calcutta Cacophony also, and
Tinder part
I
two.
think, yeah, I think like on
We
ground.
had this joke.
Oh.
I mean, like we've seen relationships happen. She's seen relationships broken.
Oh.
We've
Okay.
some relationships which are maturing into almost marriages now as we speak. So through here
Shadi.com.
only. Yeah, I mean, like it's all dot coms. I mean, like, it's like I mean one platform for everyone, and
Super app.
You should have a web page of your marriage signups.
No, to the
yeah,
extent we have an internal joke if events are working out for us, and if because we only do commercial events, let's just look at it be a korabo amra.
We'll get people married and get them into trouble.
Absolutely,
crazy,
and then
crazy.
we'll not fund the divorce.
Oh yeah, वो तो अब खुद के पॉकेट से जाएगा. ब्रेकअप होने के बाद आना यहाँ पे, you know.
Then you
Well,
can if you want post breakup depression, we'll do another Soul Local to get you out.
and you can get another contact from there as well, which will further take you into
Absolutely, so
marriage.
it's like a
Cycle goes
cycle.
on.
Yes.
Good, a sustainable business model indeed. When did the first success, or like when did you like? Is the Soul Local a sub venture of Calcutta Cacophony, which is run by you guys?
I think it's the only other venture that we do apart from Calcutta Cacophony as a whole in terms of a brand
No.
that we did establish. And Touchwood, for the last 3 seasons that we've been doing, we have been successful. And funnily, every after the event, like the event gets over at 10 o'clock, at 10:30, after all 3 events, I've said that I'm never doing an event again. The amount of stress that goes into an event, the organizational stress, the financial stress, the people stress, and
Management.
a personal headache. I mean, like, it's massive, massive.
So Ankita,
And
be ready 25th and 24th. Rishida will be on
So,
fire.
Rishi and I have I think one of our most relevant conversations right now is imagine the Ghoom Amra on 26th December because we
so
both
just
have
looking
been,
forward to that, huh?
and it's a very different landscape than last time. Like it's a different generation we are dealing with in terms of the team. It is a post-COVID team. So a lot of the students right now with us, working with us, are people who were in COVID during 11, 12.
Oh.
So it's very, very like we are like it's very difficult actually. Like if people we've worked with in the past who have been a part of Soul Local, or even before COVID, it's a completely different, like we can understand. I think we've been discussing this. We can actually understand the difference, and
Hmm.
so it's a lot of learning for us. I think Rishi's been asked to not speak at meetings because he gets
Oh.
angry very easily right now.
Great.
I don't want to scare these guys off.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
And yeah, I mean, 24th and 25th, I mean, right now, like, I'm very nervous that it's 28th November and it's going to be in December in 2 days.
Uh-huh.
That is,
I'll be enjoying
I,
from
I
the background.
oh my God, I want
yeah,
to be there.
I mean, like,
I'll,
I
I'll,
trust,
I'll make
trust
you
me when I
both
tell you
fight.
this.
Don't worry. I'm the catalyst.
Trust me, I want to be in your shoes. Okay, I want to be in your shoes where I want to wear the VIP band and just stand and listen. Okay, that is exactly
No,
what I
no.
want to do. I don't want to wear those walkie-talkies and crew bands and run around the place. I really don't want to. But then, yeah,
Uh-huh.
we've taken it up. It's a mammoth of a project that we've taken up, and
Mhm.
yeah, I feel that it's also important for uh, someone to do something. I
Uh-huh.
mean, there's a lot of chatter in the city where কলকাতা কিছু হয় না, কেউ কিছু করে
Mhm.
না, শুধু again
I know
only an
right now,
outside people
Rishi is
come.
romanticizing this whole thing, but people do that rightly so because we've also discussed if we try to do something like Soul Local in a Bombay, Delhi, I don't know about Delhi, but in a Bombay or even a Pune or a Bangalore, it would have been so much easier. Like,
Mhm.
We've just a week back we were on a call with a friend of ours who works in one of the production houses in Bombay. So he's already told us like Geo Garden is yours. So that's the kind of support that we get from a different city where
Not from
Ankita probably never been.
Calcutta.
Calcutta, exactly.
so we've been lucky with support from a lot of people. Like, without Nishit, we wouldn't have been able to do this.
You should.
Without,
Yep.
So obviously, man,
Wonderful
I mean,
guy.
like,
I
hands
mean,
down, there are a lot of people. I will definitely not say that no one has helped. I mean, like, there are hundreds of people who've been our support throughout, and whenever we've gone to them, they've never let us down. That's
Mhm.
definitely there. But
Mhm.
obviously, just 100 people will not make up for everything, no.
for
So there's
a
a lot
thousand
of
people not doing it, like people who've
1,000
been
people not doing it. Huh?
we've been messed up with like a lot of close people also, like friends. I mean, it's very, one of the biggest problems my team faces. Like everyone, like বন্ধুরা বলছে তোর even তো free ticket দে. And
Oh
it used to
shit,
piss.
no.
Like initially,
Uh-huh.
I did not know how to handle this, but I also get that a lot. And my first response is,
No.
absolutely, I'll give. What are you giving to me? Give me a stall. If you're a startup owner, give me a stall.
Mhm.
I'm giving you,
Pitch
like,
your product,
it
huh?
has to be, it can't be that, like, what happens after a point, Calcutta people have this tendency, they're so price conscious that after a point, they try to leech people off, which is very, like, they do not know the background, but they're the first ones to complain. So
Hmm.
this is, I think, is a city problem, but I mean, the good have been very good, the bad have been very bad. So
Uh-huh.
that's, I think, there's a huge polarized, like, two sides of my
Yeah,
of the
like because last time when we did So Local, we were 21, and we've become thick-skinned, to be honest. I mean, like the
हाँ
amount
वो तो
of,
मतलब होना ही पड़ेगा.
I mean, like the amount of, I don't know, I
Critique
don't know
and
what the
hate
word,
and
critique, hate.
So critic is not the
I mean, so
problem.
many. It's critique is not the problem. We're still open to take any form of criticism. I mean, like, that will help us, grow.
constructive.
And yeah, it's constructive. I mean, like, even if you say that, we have a shitty lineup, that's completely fine. That makes me the push to grow. If you tell me that, well, like, tell me that, Rishi, I mean, like, you're doing an event, groom yourself, to look like you're doing an event. That is something which I will
Mhm.
definitely take into account, because that
Mhm.
is what I am, what you are expecting out of me. That's
Mhm.
great. But you're gonna Kolkata. See, as much as I love the city, it's very unfortunate of me that I have to criticize the city, because that is like probably 90% of the population. And like,
Mhm.
like, fortunately, Ankit and I, we've been fortunate to work with so many people around the country and around the world. Uh, the the common part of it is that where you also grow, I also grow. Let's grow together. That should be that's the best case scenario, right? I mean, like, we are in this podcast, okay? So what am I getting out of it? Nothing. It's the support which I'm showing you, and vice versa, where
What are you
no one
getting
does
out of it?
anything.
Like we
No
are
one
like
does
probably
anything.
your age.
No one does anything for free. Either there's a liability, there's some favor which I'm doing for someone. It
There's
always
no
works like that. It always works like that, and it's natural. And people don't do anything for free. But then you have to understand what's the ultimate goal behind it. And Ankit and I, we've never said no to anyone. Anyone who's come up with a project to us, we've never said no, because we've had so many rejections, and we know how that no sounds.
Exactly. Yes.
And we really don't want anyone to go through that phase. Whatever capacity I can, I always help out. I'm like, I think we were only having this conversation before Ankita joined. So we're just discussing few ideas of
Exactly.
what more we can do. What's in it for me? Nothing. This is the first time we're speaking over a call. On text, we've spoken a few times. But that's not the case, right? So that's the relationship that you build. And I think the relationships
As a whole, I think Rishi
way
and
long.
I both are we're very solution driven people. Right? So because we're solution driven, one of the things that happens to us when someone is critiquing us, we are all in for that. But give me what do you want us to do? You need to tell me more. Like you need to have that open communication. So the solution to that thing is having an open communication. But you can hate on someone and you can just like you just shat on someone and you just went away. So that is not how the world works. And that is not how, if my boss did that to me, I would also be pissed. So I will not expect that from my colleagues. I will not expect that from my audience.
Give a valid reason for a critique.
Give me a reason and give me what I should do. Tell me what you want. You want a different, I get it, but what do you want? So answer that. If you are telling me not this, then you have to tell me what then.
Alternative.
It's very simple for us. And when I think one thing Rishi told that rest of the world, they have this attitude, he's doing good, I also want to do good. That is the mentality. But in Calcutta, he's doing good, let him pull down so that he comes down at my level.
And then I'll grow. So is this interesting?
They don't care. They're okay with where they are. That's the problem. They're okay. That.
So is this a Calcutta problem or a country problem as in India?
Calcutta problem.
It's
first the Calcutta problem, and to be honest, the country problem is so minuscule. It will actually not pinch you in any way. It will not matter.
All our vendors, most of our product-based vendors, like for our hampers, for our kits, we do not want to work with Calcutta people because for the same thing I'm getting at 18 rupees from a Delhi vendor, the same thing is costing me 35 in Calcutta.
And it's not just about the money, to be honest. It's more
it is like when I'm spending something out of my pocket with a better quality,
you want an ROI on the investment.
Absolutely. Like whenever I did a few personal projects also, I worked with Bombay vendors, I worked with Delhi vendors, not only in terms of one thing for sure, not only in terms of money, in terms of the professionalism as a whole. The person arranged for everything, gave me a call. This is your POC. This delivery will reach here this day. We've already paid the person to deliver.
This is your cost. This is the entire thing.
It just came to my house. And in Calcutta, oh my
bullshit.
God.
No bullshit.
So to follow up after key, hello.
Endless. And problem is that তারপরে যদি হয়ে যেত তবু বুঝতাম।
তাইতো হয় না সেটাই। I think that's
and then what's your reaction? Like क्या कर रहे हो भाई?
This is what you expect. I'm like, this is just expected. That's it.
ठीक है good.
It's at every step. It's at every step in terms of interacting. I will not compartmentalize in what departments, but working with national vendors, national associations have been actually easier for us than local associations. Which is very sad given the name is Soul Local. It is very ironic, and we really wanted to only have Calcutta vendors involved. We tried to do that as much as possible.
Only this city. The glory of this city.
Not even Bengal. Okay, Bengal. I'm expanding the horizon a bit. But if you're giving me triple costing, my event, my event costing is going up to an extent where which the Calcutta crowd will not pay for.
Not unaffordable. No.
We've had people who have told us to give us a discount when Soul Local tickets for 100 rupees. So,
Okay, this is a question I had. How many free ticket Divina demands come every year when you do the event?
Every day.
every day.
Oh. How many you got today?
I have
I-
got
So one of my friend is coming from Bangalore. He's already messaged me. Okay.
Oh.
So I told him, get 10 of your friends. Okay.
Oh.
We'll see.
Brand awareness.
That's a good
so we had Rishi and I can do that, but the team cannot do that, right? Like like if someone is messaging us, I mean, I can tell my friend ki tor bondhu de rehne tota to dekhe hi nebo. But a random Tom, Dick and Harry can come and tell people who have not been in touch with me for the past 4 years have messaged me.
Yeah, exactly. So this guy, I haven't spoken. So we spoke last before COVID actually.
Long time.
So long time, yeah. So yeah,
Now he wants a free ticket.
all sorts. Yeah, ওইভাবে বলেনি ওই যেভাবে বাঙালিরা বলে, ঠিক আছে, বিদেশি তো চাইবে না, তোদের আসছি কলকাতায় দেখা হবে 24-25 তারিখে,
তো 24 তারিখে যদি একটু somehow, you know.
And then they do this thing. হ্যাঁ টিকিটের কি ব্যবস্থা আছে? Me to say, but you know where they're getting at. I have learned this. I just send them the link, and I just like insider পাওয়া যাচ্ছে.
Exactly. Well, like Soul Local formed at back in like 2014-15 only,
16.
while CC was formed.
2016.
So this is your 6th event. No, 2 years was gap. 4th event.
Our 4th.
There was a gap in between. This is a 4th event.
Wow.
16, 17, 18, 2020.
What does it take to manage an event? In short.
Our soul. At this point, our soul.
A lot of patience. Patience and a lot of stress. I mean, these two are like unanimous, not only for this event, for any event.
So how many people are Soul Local right now?
Sorry?
How many people are Soul Local right now? Team?
Oh, about 120 people inside the team, like CC members. And obviously we are working with other vendors also across. So probably we'll have about 400, 500 people working for the event, like everything put together.
So you have work designated to certain team members.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, we have a full-on dry run. So whenever we have a team forming, we know who will be in which department depending on what they want to explore and also what they're good at. So there's like a 50-50 of both. Like you're not good at talking, but you want to be in media. That does not happen. But if you want to learn to do media, maybe you can assist the person who's doing media. So that is how we also try to do it. So there is value for everyone.
It's also bad for people. So we have this person who's still working with us. So I still remember the first day he came for a meeting. That's where he downloaded Premiere Pro. And now he's one of the senior video editors of Quint.
Oh my God. So fast learner.
So it's not about fast learning. It's about where people have gone from CC. And like people have gone to, some kick-ass universities around.
Projects which
some are working in MNCs and all of that.
Yeah, I mean like all is name a brand. So
in terms of that, I think like that I always believe that everyone who's coming into CC, they will make like as individual. I think everyone makes it somewhere, but a lot of the people have actually realized their own dreams in CC. So things like this guy was also an engineer, and we've like we can say that from Rishi and me and Rishi and I, and a lot of our co-team members also started exploring a completely different passion side of theirs from CC. Like I wouldn't say it was because of CC, but there was that that there was that support, and there was also the platform, there was also the name. So I think one of the biggest things that with CC that also happened is the brand name, because it kind of like in Calcutta within our age group, CC did become very popular. So more than the legitimacy of it, the popularity of it was what started striking people. So I think people can use that to their benefit when they are in the. I got my master's college because of CC, by the way. Like it's a very funny story. So I was in Boston for my master's, and everyone in my class had a 4-year undergrad because of the US system. I was the only one with a 3-year undergrad because they considered Soul Local as a full-time experience.
Oh.
Although like it was a very, like, we did not expect it. I remember Rishi shooting that video because it had to be a video thing. I had to give a video essay, like, how it is. So I had to give a video essay, and it was a 1.5 minute essay of something you're proud of in your life. And I talked about Soul Local, how even while being a college student, I did Soul Local, and I was the high
And they're
scholarship
like, इसको
student.
तो 1 साल कम करा.
So I was also the high scholarship student. Plus, I was the only student with 3 years undergrad. So I mean, it has helped me on a very like in a small scale. Even Rishi, I think, has had that.
Yeah,
Has
for
had
sure.
he got into
Like,
his job.
again, like directly, you will never be able to evaluate. So, for example, if I'm doing this event, and let's say I earn a lakh, okay, that is not the evaluation that can be done. It's the long term game, okay. It's Soul Local is not a venture where we make money. যদি মানি বানাতাম দেন আমার চাকরি সবাই ছেড়ে দিতাম, ঠিক আছে? So Soul Local is absolutely a passion project, and it is absolutely which we do for the adrenaline and nothing else. I mean, as much as I say it's a lot of stress, and I will say this till 25th রাত্রি 10টা, ঠিক আছে? But then the amount of satisfaction that it gives is just beyond. I mean, like, that gives at least me the adrenaline to go for the next 6 months. It's like ঘুরতে যাওয়া বাইরে, ওরা 10 দিনের ট্রিপ করে এলাম, ওই একটা rejuvenate and মাথা clear করে এসে and everything. So it's exactly like that for me. So I actually, it's the adrenaline that drives me for this particular event and 6 months post the event.
I can vouch something. Rishi right now looks so much older. On 26th morning, he's gonna again look young.
আমার পাকা চুলের I'm not even kidding. আমার পাকা চুলে গেছে from this event, ঠিক আছে?
Last 3 মাসে আমাদের দুজনে, like, we have wrinkles মানে চোখের কাছে, and he has পাকা চুল in the last 3 months. তার আগে ছিল না.
Okay, people grow old when events are near.
Yes.
For sure.
It's a joke we have. We are like aging at on a 10x rate these 3 months.
And then again, everything is normal.
Thankfully, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Probably the last question of the entire session. That is, give us 3, to all the listeners of the podcast. So a lot of young creative professionals also listen to this. So 3 tips for every creative, young, sweet professional. In like, if you're a photographer, if they're a musician, if they're writer, content, blogger, aspiring entrepreneur, whatever it is, like in every field, like.
Yeah, I always say this one line: work hard, don't work hard, work smart. And I feel this is very important. And like you said, if I had to mention 3 things, one is consistency, second is research, and third is practice. So you might be bad at something, but keep on doing it. Don't stop. And how can you be better at something? By researching, by learning about it.
R&D to perfect.
Very important. And practice. You keep on doing and upskilling, and you'll automatically get better. Today you started this podcast, like you were saying, the first day you were doing this podcast, you were at the edge of the screen, and now you're confident, and like your chest is out, you're confident, the way you speak, the way you hold yourself together. I'm sure after 10 more podcasts, your camera will get better, your angle will get better, you'll use better words,
everything will get better.
Absolutely. And it is just consistency. You keep on doing it, you will automatically get better. It's just how the world works. And that's where people lose the patience. You have to keep on doing. People, Instagram ছবি দেখায় না, someone is digging the ground and someone just lets go before the last diamond.
Exactly.
That point, exactly. So you keep on digging. That's the main point. And I think don't work for rewards. Work for yourself. That's it.
And for the experience of it.
Yeah. I mean, like,
I have 3 different ones. I think so. I think Rishi gave very life philosophical kind of thing. I'm going to give you 3 skills you should take up. One is learn how to use Google. It's like
Mhm.
a lot of the people tell me, Ankita di eta ki kore korbo. Sometimes even Rishi tells me, when I get so angry, I say, just Google it. Like, a
They have
lot of the
Google
things,
University.
literally, actually, like if you, like, for example, back in the day, no one knew how to, like, Photoshop design was not that common. It was an older people thing. It was like, এখন বাচ্চারা যেভাবে design করে, we used to not do that. So
Hmm.
that then I also did not have Canva Pro, and I'm not a designer. I found this random site which just removes backgrounds from objects. So everyone used to tell me that Ankita ke diye de, Ankita kore debe. I was like, there is
Uh-huh.
nothing to do in this. You just Google remove background and something comes
Upload
out.
your files, then it gets removed, you download it.
Exactly. So, like, once you start Googling, like, the world, like, once you know that everything is there on Google, you want to buy
Hmm.
mannequins for your event, go to India Mart. You will know after a
You
point, you
want
will
free
know.
tickets, you can Google.
You want how to deal with people who want free tickets. That will be the
Actually,
article.
there is a blog. There are hundreds of blogs. I searched. I was like, I don't know what to answer. So let me just Google. Okay. So
Uh-huh.
literally, you find the wildest and the craziest of things.
Okay, my second thing would be listen. Listen to what people are saying. Listen in the sense not only because of feedback, but also it will help you understand people around you better in terms of what they're looking for, what they want, who their immediate audience is. Listen to there is a reason something becomes a trend because it
Uh-huh.
tugs somewhere. Like I know people want to be very niche and like they want to have their, audience, but there is a reason why something's a trend. Don't ignore hate watching. People do hate watch. So it's okay if you put out cringy content once in a while. Make fun of yourself, take humor. So take feel, try and listen and understand what the pulse of the thing is. And the third thing is communicate better from your side.
Mhm.
Explain to your team, work with people around you, collaborate, learn from others around you, keep your ego aside. I mean, especially for the younger people right now, your ego, your skills. Guys, it has to match. It's okay. If your skills go up, it does not matter, but this can't be up. Have ego. I'm a very egoistic person, especially in terms of work. Have
Mhm.
ego, have ego on your skills, not just because of it.
Mhm.
So it's very important to have ego. It's very important to know when to say no, but don't say no every time. তা বলে কাজ দিলেই না আমার এখন পরীক্ষা চলছে
No.
না এখন আমি don't do stuff like that. I mean,
Ah.
you will see that 3 years later you will only look back and laugh at your own self. When you get into a job, it's gonna be really difficult. It can be a creative job, any kind of job, anything that makes you earn and something that makes you pay for yourself. The moment you start paying for yourself, earning for yourself, you'll realize that your ego is very small in terms of the needs and requirements and living as a whole. Survival is much bigger after a point.
Uh-huh.
And so keep your ego aside, match your ego to your skill. I think I'm going to use this at our next meeting. This was really cool. I did not plan this.
What's
But
the
yeah,
third one?
the third one, keep your ego aside, communicate better, understand people. Second one was listen to what people are saying. And one was go Google everything. And also, I think one more thing, try and learn basics of graphic designing.
Uh-huh. Everyone should
I think
Yeah,
understand
irrespective
design.
of what you are, who you are, learn graphic designing to presentation or better banana party. If nothing, use Canva. But everything as a whole, you like learn to beautify things because it makes you make a package. Like whenever you're presenting something, make a
Good
package and
branding.
make yeah, brand well. Like I'm a branding person, when I
Mhm.
mentioned
Exactly.
brand well. Like I mean, you need to put your best. Like if because Rishi talked about grooming, groom your work, groom your projects, groom
Hmm.
your PPTs.
Hmm.
So
yeah.
yeah,
I think
Well,
I'll just add on to this. I'll
mhm.
add a seventh
he asked for
point.
3. We have already given him 7. So this is the
Yeah, we
8th
give it
point.
six. Yeah, we give it six. I'll just
Uh-huh.
add one more. I
Mhm.
think let go of your inhibitions.
Hmm.
I think that's also a big barrier when it comes to work. Uh, I mean, like I'm not even kidding about it. Uh, there are places where we go and people volunteer to carry our bags,
Oh.
and there are places. I mean,
Still
like
very weird.
people have it, which is fine. I get when people give it also, and I'm completely okay with that if people are accepting it. But there are also been places where I have cleaned tables in
And
front
not
of
at ITC, not while he was a student.
being a guest. Being a guest, I've cleaned tables, and that is not something where I was required to do, but it's something. And I'm not saying that I'm being a Gandhi while doing this, but I feel it's very important to be grounded. And
It's fine to do that.
it's absolutely fine. No work is a small work, and no job is a big job. That's it. The moment you can do everything from screwing a screw to hosting a music festival, you will
Screwing
know
a
where
festival?
people. Yeah, and so but exactly. So get rid of your inhibitions. I think once you know that how to do the smallest of the things and the biggest of the things, you know what happens in between.
At
So
Soul
no one
Local,
can.
we have cleaned garbage. At Soul Local, and I have picked, I think Rishi has cleaned tables at our own events when there was no one around to do it, but someone had to do it. I have picked up people who have fainted because they were too drunk. I have taken them to the green room. আমি মুখ খুলে জল খাইয়ে দিয়েছি. So I did not have to do
Good
it.
job.
I
You
don't
drank.
ask our security.
You drank. You did a good job. Now let me take care. Wait.
No, but it's okay. You were my guest. I mean, that's what we say. You'll have to do everything and anything. We've gotten people coffees. Our teammates have gotten people ran to London from St. Paul's to buy crates of water and carried it, young kids. And there have been people who have done everything. So the moment you're in that high adrenaline place, you actually realize that your work, my work, nothing matters. What matters at this point is getting it done. So yeah, I think
the same philosophy with me also. Dude, what the hell is small or big?
there is nothing small or big. I mean, everyone is I think everyone, for example, if what my maid is doing, if my maid does not come for even a day, I go bonkers. I have to do that. And I go bonkers. I mean, it's not a great thing that I'm doing that. That is normal life. That is how life works. And I am not going to put a picture somewhere that, I was cleaning my house or I was washing utensils. That is life skill. I mean, you're not a saint for doing it. Similarly, when you're at your own event, at your own workplace, if you're doing something extra, do not think keep your ego aside, keep your inhibitions aside. Everyone is there for everything, and everyone should be capable of doing these basic things. And having that is when your presence of mind also matters. You should be, and the older you get, your inhibitions also, that also increases, the ego goes down because you realize the world is much bigger than all these small problems.
Exactly. Well, we got 1200 tips, so thank you for that. So what a kind of wonderful way to end. Once again, keep building new stuff, inspire all of the creative people from around the city and beyond. And once again, thank you so much for taking some time out to do this. I disturbed Ankita a lot, and then I came to you.
No, we felt so bad that we had to cancel the last time.
No, it's fine. No issues with that.
But I'm glad we did this.
Yeah, I think 6 months down the line, I want to be a part of this podcast again on a much bigger scale, and all my best wishes. And let's do it face to face. Let's have studios, setups, and 10 cameras in front with mics and everything. Let's do it. I think the sky is the limit.
Exactly. So after 6 months, Calcutta Cacophony or the Soul Local will also be $1 billion company. So yeah, we can tie up.
I hope so.
And then we okay, yeah, deal kar leta. I'm sending you a check or something of that sort.
For sure.
PR move.
Exactly.
Then iPhone 15 for everyone.
16 Pro.
16 Pro Max.
We'll import that from Mars.
Super.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Kriparno.
Absolutely. Keep building stuff, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you. See you all.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.